Man, we got we're another week show tonight. Sure, week show tonight. Our Godfather Soldier Slimmy. Name my topic tonight. It's called Terrible in Tempe, Arizona. Will Saturday night's main event be any good 1 week from tomorrow? And but before I start my presentation, I'm gonna show a little bit of music. I'm gonna show this number one hit single from 1985 called "Hold Me" by Latin American group Menudo. And Ricky Martin was in that group, by the way. So stick around, right back. Get the music playing, right back. that was "Hold Me." All you just heard, number one hit single from 1985, by Latin American pop group in the 80s. Menudo and Ricky Martin was in that group before he became popular, having a number one single called "Live La Vida Loca," and She Bangs. So let's get started with tonight's terrible show tonight. Here we go. I really don't understand why WWE did not do no tribute to Sir Mo, Sir Mo, to Sir Mo. Um, I know why WWE did not do no tribute to Sir Mo, to Bobby Horn, better known to the WWE fans as Sir Mo, as Mo from Man on a Mission. They didn't do it on Monday Night Raw, or they didn't do it tonight in the opening of tonight's SmackDown. That's a shame. Damn you, Triple H, Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel, TKO Holdings. Let's go and get on to tonight's show. Good night. SmackDown kicks off with shots of the Moeller Arena. We cut to highlights from last week's show. Live in the arena, undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes is walking backstage and he's stopped by Jimmy Uso. He thanks Cody for what he did for his cousin last week. Jimmy says he has to talk to Aldis about what happened to Jacob Fatu. Cody asks Jimmy if everything is good between him and Jay. Jimmy tells him what happened, and he asks him how would he feel. Cody says he gets it. He has a brother in the gang too, and he's going to do what is good for him. Jimmy tells him he will talk to Nick Aldis, and Cody says he will talk to the people. Cody hits, music hits, and he comes to the ring. Fans cheer and they chant Cody. He asked them what they want to talk about. He says they talk about his opponent at Saturday Night's Main Event, the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. The fans boo. He says he did something last week that was uncharacteristic. He took the title and he smacked it across Drew's head. He wonders if he should apologize for that. We hear Drew's voices and he tells him stop. He doesn't want his apologies or any excuses. We see Drew walking through the fans and down to the ring side. He says all the evidence they have seen, the fans are going to cheer Cody Rhodes and they are going to boo Drew McIntyre. He stands on top of the announce table and he says they are all complicit in Cody's crimes. Drew thinks that they are being brainwashed by corporate Cody's propaganda. Whatever, Drew. Whatever. No matter what he does, they keep cheering. Russ Palooza, he screwed him. With the referee last week, he hit him with the title. And they still cheer him. He says he has been screwed so many times this has become about Drew McIntyre finishing the story, finishing that Saturday Night's Main Event. But the elephant in the room is who attacked Jacob Fatu. He says he is always the scapegoat. He hates that family, but he is innocent. He says maybe it was Jimmy, the black sheep of the family. Jay has another title match. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Cody tells him enough. He's looking for a fight, and he will fight him right here, right now. Drew gets down from the announce table, but Jimmy runs from behind. He hits Drew with right hands and throws him into the announce table as WWE officials break it up. Jimmy with a suicide dive onto Drew, and WWE officials break it up. Soul's music hits, and out he comes with the MFTs. And go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Drew is backstage with Nick Aldis, but in comes Jimmy Uso, who hits Drew. WWE officials break it up. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rey Fenix versus Tama Tonga and JC Mateo with MFT. The bell rings are underway. Nakamura and Tama Tonga start the match. Tama Tonga with right hands followed by an elbow. He goes for a slam, but Nakamura lands on his feet. Both men with forearms to the face, but Tama Tonga with an elbow to the face. He grabs Nakamura, but Nakamura with right hands followed by a knee to the face. Sorry. He grabs Nakamura, but Nakamura with right hands followed by a knee to the face. Ray Phoenix is tagged in to the ring as JC Mateo. Phoenix with a right hand, he grabs Mateo by the arm. He climbs to the top rope and bounces off the top rope and lands on an arm drag. He goes for the cover, but Jason Mateo kicks out. Nakamura is tagged in and they double team Mateo. Mateo falls to the outside of the ring. Commercial break. Back from the commercial, Ray Phoenix with a kick to the side of the head of JC Mateo. Nakamura is tagged in and he lands on a kick to the face. Nakamura with an elbow onto Tama Tonga, who was on the ring apron. Nakamura with a knee. He goes for the cover, but JC Mateo kicks out. Nakamura grabs Jason Mateo, but Mateo throws him down. Tama Tonga is tagged in and he lands on a splash in the corner. Nakamura to the ropes and Phoenix is tagged in. Phoenix with a moonsault off the top rope. He goes for the cover, but Tama Tonga kicks out. Phoenix with a kick back to his side of the head. Phoenix walks to the top rope and kicks Tama Tonga in the head. Phoenix on the top rope. He lands on a cross body. He goes for cover, but Jason Mateo breaks it up. In comes Nakamura, and he breaks it up. In comes Nakamura. Nakamura with a kick to the side, side of the head. Tonga, Leo gets in the ring, but Nakamura with a kick to him. Tama throws Nakamura to the side of the ring. Tama Tonga runs toward Phoenix, but Phoenix lowers the top rope. Tama Tonga falls to the outside. Phoenix with a corkscrew splash onto Tama Tonga, and Leo throws Tama Tonga back into the ring. So Sioka gets on the ring apron and distracts the referee. Tama Tonga with a choke slam onto Phoenix on the apron. Tama Tonga with a running elbow to the face. He goes for cover and gets the win. Winners MFT. We cut to Jimmy Uso and Nick Aldis in the back. Jimmy tells him he knows that Drew McIntyre is hurt. Drew McIntyre hurt Jacob Fatu. Aldis tells him he will put him in a match tonight. Jimmy says he does not want a match. He wants a fight. Aldis says it will be Jimmy against Drew in a no disqualification. We cut to Julia, but in comes Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. Chelsea tells her she knows a thing or two about being the women's Intercontinental Champion. In comes Kiana James, who says she does not discount discount on Julia's schedule. Kiana James tells him she actually has a match against the SmackDown Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton's music hits and out she comes to the ring for a match. Commercial break. Commercial break. Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James. The bell rings. We're underway. Tiffany with an armbar, but James acrobatically gets out of it. James with an armbar, but Tiffany acrobatically gets out of it, and she slams James onto the mat. Yeah, Tiffany with an armbar, but James acrobatically gets out of it. James with an armbar, but Tiffany acrobatically gets out of it, and she slams James onto the mat. James goes for a clothesline, but Tiffany ducks, and Tiffany with an arm drag arm bar. James gets out of it, but James with a kick. She throws Tiffany to the ropes, but Tiffany with a drop kick. James falls toward second rope, but Tiffany with a hip attack. James falls to the outside of the ring. Tiffany goes for a baseball slide, but James moves out of the way and hits her with an elbow. James gets on the ring apron and goes for a moonsault, but Tiffany moves out of the way. James lands on her feet, and Tiffany with a clothesline. Julie distracts Tiffany and James throws her onto the onto the barricade into the barricade. Commercial break. Back from commercial, James with right hands both women to the top to the ropes and both slam each other and fall onto the mat. Both women back to their feet, and Tiffany with a clothesline. James in the corner and Tiffany with an elbow to the face. Tiffany with an elbow, the Alabama slam. She gets James up on her shoulders and lands the rolling senton. Tiffany goes for the prettiest moonsault ever. James moves out of the way. Tiffany lands on her feet, and James with a super kick. James with a falcon elbow. She goes for a cover, but Tiffany kicks out. She throws Tiffany into the corner and places her on the top rope. She climbs to the second rope, but Tiffany slams her down. Tiffany with a swanton, she climbs to the top rope and lands on the prettiest moonsault ever. Tiffany goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winner, Tiffany Stratton. Julie gets in the ring, and after the match, she and hits Tiffany from behind. Cargill's music hits, and out comes Jay to the ring. Julie goes for a right hand, but Cargill with a kick to the face, followed by a jumping kick. James gets on the ring apron, but Jay with a right hand. Julie James walk back to the back. James extends her hand to Tiffany, who is on the mat. She helps Tiffany up and raises Tiffany's arm in the air. As Jay is about to walk away, she hits Tiffany with a clothesline. And while she turned heel, she throws Tiffany into the corner and begins kicking her. She throws Tiffany into the ring post and to the outside of the ring. Jay throws Tiffany to the ring steps, and she throws Tiffany over the announce table. Jay with kicks and right hands that outrun WWE officials who break it up. Jay walks away, and she comes back and grabs Tiffany, throwing her towards the ring steps. Tiffany's leg was leaning on the ring steps, and Jay would kick it into the steps. Jay gets in the ring and grabs Tiffany's women's championship and stares at it. She smiles and drops it onto the mat. We see clips of Eli Dragunov pinning Sami Zayn, winning the WWE United States Championship. Back in the ring, we see Dragunov walking backstage, and he's stopped by Sami Zayn. He congratulates Dragunov, and they shake hands. Dragunov tells him he respects him so much, and what he did on the Open Challenges was legendary. Zayn tells him the opening challenges are no joke. John Cena started them, he passed it on to him, and he's passing it on to Dragunov. He tells him he has to be willing to have every target on his chest every week. He tells Dragunov to go out and do it. Dragunov thanks Zayn and walks away. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Jade Cargill is walking backstage and he's stopped by Kathy Kelly. She asks Jade if she is worried about the consequences. Why? She asks why she did what she did to Tiffany Stratton. Jade says you only had to face consequences when you make mistakes, but she didn't make any. She's not asking for power. She is taking it, beginning with the SmackDown Women's Championship. WWE. I knew WWE. I figured I don't blame Jade Cargill because WWE. I figured WWE. I told you. See, I know all these you fans right. WWE is treating Jade Cargill just like they did. Just like they did with her in AEW. I bet all these fans look are I think these fans are biased against Jade Cargill. There's bias against Jade Cargill because they the reason why they hate Jade Cargill because they the reason why the WWE fans are biased, they hate Jade Cargill because they're biased here because she came from AEW. That's why that's why they hate. They want her to be healed because they, I think and you know why? Another reason. The reason they're biased against Jade Cargill because yeah, because of some of yeah, I just said it already. Yeah, they're biased against her. They're completely biased. Well, let me give you a news flash, all you fans. Jade Cargill's not in AEW anymore. She's in WWE now, and she's different. But you guys want to boo her? All you should be ashamed of yourselves. I mean, I think all of you think, I think all of you think that not Jade, she was that Naomi was right, and when she was justified when she put her out of action. I bet you we're gonna have a future champion versus champion match soon when Jade Cargill when Naomi gets her Raw Women's Championship back, and they're gonna see when she comes back as a baby face, and they're gonna be hating Jade Cargill more. It would if they have a match again, Naomi versus Jade probably like next year or something, 2026. Jade versus Naomi, champion versus champion. Raw Women's Champion versus SmackDown Women's Champion. All the fans gonna be booing Jade and cheering for Naomi, and that won't make any sense after all. If the Jade, I was called Naomi, put her out of action. I'm gonna go with Jade Cargill for this one. I don't blame Jade Cargill tonight, but I blame Triple H, Nick Khan, and Ari Mayne. I mean for doing the same shit that Tony Khan has done to her and AEW has done to her. WWE is already failing as shit as it is. Now they're gonna hate Jade Cargill, and they think Naomi was right. She was justified when she tried to put her in action. They're all the fans, WWE fans. They're all just hypocrites, complete fucking hypocrites. Back from okay, Eli Dragunov's music hits, and out he comes to the ring. The fans chant, "You deserve it," and Dragunov says he has missed him. He says this year of recovery has had a lot of highs and extremely devastating lows. At low points, he didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But one thing is that giving up does not exist in his genetics because of the accession he has in his heart. He stands in front of them as the new United States champion. Dragunov says where he comes from they will say how you do one thing, you do all the things, and will defend it with all obsession. He won it from a great man, Sami Zayn, and it is his duty to open the legacy of the Open Challenge. He says tonight, pain shall entertain them. Lights go out, and Aleister Black's music hits. He comes down with Zelina Vega, both of them dressed in all black. U.S. Championship Opening Challenge match: Eli Dragunov versus Eli Dragunov, defending United States champion, versus Aleister Black with Zelina Vega. The bell rings and we're underway. Both men lock up, but the referee breaks it up. Black with a kick, but Dragunov with chops. Black with one more kick, but Dragunov with right hands and a kick. Dragunov to the ropes, but Black with the kick. Dragunov to the outside of the ring. Black distracts the referee as Vega gets on the ring apron and lands in Hurricanrana. Black gets on the ring apron and kicks Dragunov in the face. Back from commercial. We're going to go to commercial break. Back from commercial. Dragunov with a boot to the face. Dragunov with a German suplex. Black tries to get out of it, but Dragunov with another German suplex. Dragunov lifts Black up and slams him onto the mat. Dragunov goes for the cover, but Black kicks out. The fans chant, "This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome." Dragunov climbs to the top rope, but Vega gets on the ring apron, and that distracts Dragunov. Black trips him up, and Dragunov falls to the outside, falls Dragunov falls to get to the mat. Black with double knees off the top rope, followed by a kick to the head. Black with a German suplex. He goes for cover, but Dragunov kicks out. Dragunov goes for a suplex, but Dragunov rolls him up, but Black kicks out. Dragunov with a kick to the face, but Black kick the face. Black with a kick the face. Black with a kick to the face. He goes for cover, but Dragunov kicks out. Black off the second rope, but Dragunov moves out of the way, and Dragunov with the Constantine special. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Dragunov climbs to the top rope and he lands on a senton. He goes for cover, but Black kicks out. Dragunov goes for the torpedo mascot, but Black with a knee to the head. Black with a brainbuster. He goes for cover, but Dragunov kicks out. Brain goes for Dragunov kicks out. Black goes for a black miss, but Dragunov with a torpedo Moscow. Dragunov holds his head, and is down. Dragunov goes for the H-bomb, but Zelina trips him up. That distracts Dragunov, and Black hits him from behind. The referee tells Zelina that he saw her, and she is barred from ringside. Damian Priest's music hits and out he comes. Priest is wearing sunglasses and he takes them off to reveal bruises that distracts Black. He turns around, and Dragunov hits him with a torpedo mascot. He goes for a cover and gets the pin. Winner still U.S. champion Eli Dragunov. Priest gets in the ring after match. He hits Black with right hands and elbows to the face. Priest throws Black into the outside. He places him onto the announce table and grabs the steel chair. Vega jumps onto Damian's Black and rakes him in the eyes. She grabs Black and they jump the barricade to escape. We see clips of last week where Carmella Hayes hits The Miz from behind. Back in the arena, Kathy Kelly is with Carmella Hayes. He tells her that it goes without saying that The Miz is a future Hall of Famer. He taught him a lot inside the ring and outside the ring. He is forever grateful. But The Miz crossed the line when he put his hands on him, and last week he had to do what he had to do. He says revenge is a double sword, and as far as he's concerned, they are even. And now he can get back on track to fulfilling his destiny. He says he owes it to people to get himself back on track to being him. Back from the break, commercial break. Back from the break, Dragunov is walking backstage and he's stopped by Fraxium. They tell him that he would like to challenge him to a match. Dragunov says the open challenge is for anyone, including tag teams. He walks away and in comes DIY with Candice LeRae. DIY tell him that they make their dreams much smaller. Candice tells Axiom that he can begin by taking off his mask. They tell DIY they are scared. Candice says they are a waste of time and they walk away. In comes Tom Tonga, who shushes them. He cuts the throat and walks away. We cut to Kathy Kelly, who was with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. She tells him that Bayley made a challenge, saying that if they are champions, they think they are, they'll be on Raw. And we all know the history between Bayley and Alexa Bliss. They go way back to NXT. They feuded before Payback 2015, 2016 was it? Yeah. They tell Kathy Kelly they saw Bailey. They tell Kathy they saw Bailey, and in comes Nia Jax. She's waiting for one of them to stab her in the back. Blair says that it's called projection. Nami was hurt so many times, she thinks that's what will happen. Nia Jax tells Flair that Bliss might hug her on one arm and to stab her with the other. Bliss tells her that people will change, but if she wants her to old, she can find her. Nia challenges her to a match next week, and Bliss accepts. Nia walks away, and Flair tells Bliss that Nia is going through something. No DQ match: Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso. As Jimmy's walking to the ring, down to the ring, Drew goes to the outside and he hits him with the right hands. He throws Jimmy to the ring. Drew with the right hands, but Jimmy with right hands. Jimmy throws Drew to the outside. Jimmy goes for a suicide dive, but Drew with the right hand, and Jimmy falls to the outside. Drew grabs Jimmy, but Jimmy slams his face first into the ring steps. He grabs Drew, but Drew with a thrust to the throat. Drew jumps the barricade, and Jimmy follows him. Jimmy with right hands, but Drew with a rake to the eyes. Drew goes for a suplex, but Jimmy suplexes Drew on the concrete. Jimmy throws Drew over the barricade and back into ringside. Jimmy grabs a table from under the ring. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Jimmy walks into the barricade. Jimmy barricade and jumps, but Drew catches him with a belly to belly. Drew throws Jimmy back into the ring and goes for a cover, but Jimmy kicks out. Drew goes to the outside and grabs a steel chair. He gets in the ring and hits Jimmy with it across the back, and Drew unveils the chair and places Jimmy's head on it. Drew sits Jimmy on the chair and hits him with the right hands. Drew runs to the ropes and goes for a claymore, but Jimmy gets up and lands on a drop toe hold as Drew slams into the chair. Jimmy with a kick followed by a right hand. Jimmy gets on the top rope and lands a whisper in the wind. He goes for a cover, but Drew kicks out. Jimmy grabs the steel chair and hits Drew with it across his back. Jimmy grabs the table that is in the ring and he sets it up towards the corner. He grabs Drew, but Drew with the future side DDT, he goes for cover, but Jimmy kicks out. Drew goes for a claymore, but Jimmy with a Samoan drop through the table. Jimmy climbs to the top rope and he goes for the Uso splash, but Drew hits him with the chair to the face. Drew hits him with a claymore kick. He goes for cover and gets the pin. Winner, Drew McIntyre. After the match, Drew grabs the chair and begins choking Jimmy with it. Out comes WWE official who tries to break it up. Cody's music hits and he runs down to the ring. He hits Drew with right hands and a kick. He throws Drew to the outside and over the barricade into the timekeeper's area. Cody gets back into the ring. He checks up on Jimmy. Drew gets back in the ring and Cody turns around and hits Drew. And Drew hits him with a claymore kick. Drew stands in the ring. Smackdown goes off the air. I hate you know what is Triple H's obsession with Drew McIntyre? I mean, what is wrong with him letting Drew McIntyre shit on Cody Rhodes? Drew McIntyre needs to retire, man. I know why in the world would Triple H, if they take that that title, that belt of Cody, off of Cody. Yeah, I think. It's just terrible. I mean, I bet you. You know, I love. I don't blame. I'm gonna go with Jade Cargill for what they Jade Cargill because I don't blame her for being healed, but I blame the writers, the creative team, Triple H, Nick Khan, and Ari Emanuel. I mean, but they should. But I mean, this is just getting terrible for WWE. It's terrible. I think Saturday night's main event will not be good. Any good tonight? Will not be any good. So that's all I've say tonight is just terrible tonight. See what it's trying to say. It's time. 1 second. It's time. You know what it's time for? It's time for. It's time for just in time history, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, and history, and all that stuff, and sports. All you hear that thing was a thing from Back to the Future time, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. One of my favorite movies. My favorite movies. All celebrate its 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025, because the movie was released July 4th, 2025. Because the movie the movie was released July 3rd, 1985, and celebrated its 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2000, last year. July 3rd this year. See, let's go to yesterday, October 23rd. Okay. Yesterday was a happy. Okay. Okay. Yesterday was a happy. Yeah. Yesterday was a happy 29th birthday. Lyra Valkyria. Carmella turned 38th birthday to Carmella turned 38 yesterday. And let's see sports. Okay. Game 4, 1985. Game 4 of the 1985 World Series, October 23rd, 1985. St. Louis Cardinals beat the Kansas City Royals 3-0. So finish up what I was doing. Yeah, Kansas City Royals. Yeah, the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Kansas City Royals 3-0. Let's see what else. Personal thing. Okay, Game 2 of the 2005 World Series, October 23rd, 2005. Let's see. The Boston Red Sox beat the Houston Astros 7-6. 7-6. Let's see what else. Let's see. Trying to see. Hold on. Let's see. Trying to see. WCW Prime, 1995 wrestling. Let's see. Johnny B. Bad defeated Randy Starr, and Randy Macho Man Savage defeated Bunkhouse Buck. And on the Monday Night Wars between Monday Night Raw and WCW, WWE Monday Night Raw on the USA Network and WCW Monday Nitro on TNT. On Monday Night Raw, the night after In Your House, Great America, Great White North, we see an interview with Shawn Michaels by Jerry Ross about him relinquishing the Intercontinental title, and Ahmed Johnson makes his WWE debut. Owen Hart defeated wins the Battle Royal, defeating Aldo Montoya, Bam Bam Bigelow, Barry Horowitz, Bob Holly, Duke Johnson, Fatu Hakushi, Henry Ogawa, Hunter Hurt, Triple H, Isaac Young, DDS, some of you know as Kane, Jean Pierre Lafitte, King Kong Bundy, Mario Giannetti, Rad Radford, Savio Vega, Sid, Justice, Skip, 1-2-3 Kid, Intercontinental title, #1 contendership. Avatar defeated Brian Walsh, some of you know as Al Snow, and Alundra Blaze defeated Burford Flay with Harvey Whip to win the Intercontinental title. And she will leave. She will make her appearance on a Monday Night Raw. On Monday Nitro, returning to WCW with trashing the WWE title in the garbage. And this was yeah. Randy Savage, okay, the Macho Man Randy Savage, okay, Monday Night, WCW Monday Nitro, Macho Man Randy Savage defeated Kurosawa with Colonel Tom Parker, Eddie Guerrero, and Mr. JL with Alex Wright defeated Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko, and two best friends, rest in peace Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko, yeah, rest in peace to Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, by the way. Lex Luger and Sting defeated Harlem Heat, and we see this before this was out. This is the hours before Halloween Havoc. Yeah, we see the Yeti escaping, climbing out, breaking the debut of the Yeti, and this is just before Halloween Havoc '95. And on Sunday Night Heat, on WWE.com, Sunday Night Heat. Okay, on Sunday Night Heat, on Sunday Night Heat, Val Venus defeat Val Venus defeated wow. Okay. Sunday Night Heat was. Okay, I learned that Sunday Night Heat was no longer on Sundays no more. So wow. So it's no longer moved. So this is what yeah, this is October 21st, 2021. So I'm just gonna do it anyway. Since I forgot. Yeah, that's right. It moved to it's no longer on Monday, Sunday, on Sundays anymore. Sunday Night Heat. So it's just called um so Heat was just called WWE Heat. That's it. Just WWE Heat. But I'm just gonna get to it anyway. Okay. Heat on Heat, October 21st, 2005. Sorry, I sneezed. Val Venus and Visser defeat Lance Cade and Trevor Merritt. Gene Sinski defeats Rosie. Rob Conway defeats Greg Hammer Valentine via DQ. Karen White and Nick Nemeth defeats Shelton Benjamin and Mike Striker. Yeah, that's right. I've forgotten that Sunday Night Heat moved moved no longer aired on Sundays. Wow, that's right. In 2005, TNA Bound for Glory aired. 2005. Okay, it was announced that tonight Matt Kevin Nash has been hospitalized over William weekend. He's not cleared to wrestle the main events in the pre-show. Tonight stated that a replacement will be determined later tonight. The next division fatal forward match between Sanjay Dutt yeah, opening first match of the night of the show was Samoa Joe defeating Jushin Thunder Liger. Diamonds in the Rough, Davey Young, Eagle Keeper, and Simon Diamond defeated Apollo, Sharpboy, and Sunny in a six-man tag team match. Monty Brown defeated Lance Hoyt. Team Canada, A1, Bobby Roode, and Eric Young, with Scott D'Amore defeated Free Life Crew, BG James, Conan, and Ron Killings. P. Williams defeated Chris Sabin and Matt Bentley with Tracing. Ultimate X Match turned the number one contender to TNA X Division Championship. America's Most Wanted with James Storm and Chris Harris with Gail Kim defeated Naturals. Andy Douglas and Stevens for a team and tag team match for TNA for NWA World Tag Team Championship. Rhino defeated Abyss with James Mitchell and Jeff Hardy in Monsters Balls and Sabu in Monsters Ball match. AJ Styles defeated Christopher Daniels in 30-man Iron Man match for TNA X Division Championship. Rhino won last by eliminating Abyss. Team 10-man Gauntlet match to replace Kevin Nash in the main event. Rhino defeated Jeff Jarrett with Gail Kim. Singles match for NWA World Heavyweight Championship with Tito Ortiz as special guest referee. And see what else. Okay, on WWE Superstars, Fandango defeats Heath Slater and Stardust defeats Zack Ryder. And on Monday Night Football, ABC 1995, Monday Night Football. New England Patriots 27. New England Patriots beat the Buffalo Bills 27-14. ABC's Monday Night Football got by that 1995. Now let's go to October 24th this time. By the way, okay, October 24th, and today's my brother's birthday. They turned 35 today. My brother, they're twins. My brother and my sister. They turned 20. They turned 35 today. They're twins. They both were born on the same day, October 24th, 1990. And I love them very much. Okay, Braun Breaker, who needs a push, turns 28 today. Queen Sapphire would have been 91 today. She was born in October 20, 1994. And Paul Diamond. Yeah, Paul Diamond, wrestler Paul Diamond, turns 95. He's a Canadian wrestler. Oh, pop culture movies. For 2015, October 23rd. Rock the Casbah starring Bill Murray, Kate Hudson, Zoe DeSanto, Danny McBride, Scott Kine, and Bruce Willis, was released in theaters. Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, was released in theaters. It was the sixth film. It was the sixth film that was in the Paranormal Activity series. Jam the Hologram, starring Aubrey Peebles, Stephanie Scott, Haley Cuoco, and Ryan Guzman, Molly Ringwald, and Juliette Lewis, was released in theaters. The Last Witch Hunter was released in theaters, starring Vin Diesel and Elijah Wood. Yeah, Vin Diesel, Elijah Wood, and Michael Caine. And Bone Tomahawk, starring Kurt Russell and Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, was released. And I Smile Back, starring Sarah Silverman and Josh Jameson, was released in theaters. Yeah, Jam the Holograms was based on the cartoon, by the way, 80s cartoon. Okay, now let's go to today's wrestling history. This time, let's see. October 24th. Okay, October 24th, 1985, in Game Five of the World 95 World Series. The St. Louis Kansas City Royals beat the St. Louis Cardinals 6-1. And on NBC, and on Game 1995, Game Four of on this day, on Game Three of the 1995 World Series, the Cleveland Indians beat the Atlanta Braves 7-6. And on ECW Hardcore TV, The highlights of Public Enemy winning the ECW World Tag Team Championships three-way dance against Raven and Steven Richards and the Pitbulls. Their ECW World Tag Team Title match, Raven and Steven Richards defeated the Pitbulls. ECW World Heavyweight Title match, the same man defeated Mikey Whipwreck. ECW Tag Team Title three-way dance, the Public Enemy, Johnny Granish and Rocco Rock defeating Raven and Steven Richards and Gangsters, Mustafa and New Jack, God rest his soul. Yeah, Monday Night Football 2005 on this day. And the Atlanta Falcons defeated New York Jets 24-7-14 on Monday Night Football. And on this day on Monday Night Raw, one of the most cruel, worst moments in WWE history happened on this day in 1995. It's when Vince McMahon did a little mockery of Jerry King Lawler of Jim Ross's colon surgery. That was one of the worst segments that Vince ever done on WWE, and it wasn't funny, not funny at all. I know a friend of mine from Pittsburgh knows this is funny. I'm gonna show that audio clip to all of you right now. I'm going to show it to all of you right now.
Uh-oh. They're back live here on Raw. And there he is, the chairman of the board, Mr. McMahon, who says he has a huge surprise, and we are about to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of World Wrestling Entertainment, Mr. McMahon.
You had to see that sign in the crowd that said, "Don't trust the McMahon," and after last week, or week before last, actually,
then you need to watch yourself.
What?
You can always trust the McMahon. The astute, well-respected McMahon family. Come on, Mr. McMahon.
Let's just be honest about this.
I am being
He's the kind of guy that pledges money to telethons and then doesn't send it in. Parks and handicap space. He loves to add the straw that breaks the camel's
You're
back.
lucky that he can't hear you right now. You're lucky that Mr. McMahon cannot hear you right now, but I'm going to tell him what you're saying. I can't wait to see what the surprise is going to be.
Yeah, snitch.
You know, I don't like it when you people second guess the decisions of my family. I don't like it one bit. So when my wife Linda decided to fire JR, by God, his ass is fired.
Man. No pun intended.
And when I decided to hire the coach to take JR's place, and quite frankly, the coach is the man. Don't get me wrong, JR, he served us well for a while, no doubt about that. He served us very well, but I always knew that JR was full of crap.
It's so true. So true.
Listen to these fans. You hear who they want, don't you, Coach?
I can hear, King.
Oh, look at that.
If God wanted to give the United States of America an enema, there's no doubt he would stick it firstly right here in Fresno. No doubt in my mind.
Oh, man.
That's also true.
But enough about the toilet humor. I mean, did I say that? I mean, as far as JR is concerned, I always knew he was full of crap. Like I said last Tuesday, proved it. Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Oh, this is too much.
That's the subject of the night. You're right. You see, it is customary whenever a superstar is injured and requires surgery, it's customary for us to be there with our cameras to pick up the footage. That was the case when Stone Cold had his neck surgery. Our cameras were there. Same is true last Tuesday when JR had colon surgery. Our cameras were there.
What?
Now, the footage you're about to see is a bit graphic in nature. Let me give you that bit of an admonition because, well, after all, we are talking about, well, a bowel blockage.
No.
I mean, they had to take a foot of JR's bowels out of his body, which probably wasn't very much when you consider how much JR had in him.
Oh.
But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit graphic. You've been forewarned. Take a look at the footage.
All right, JR. Time for your colon surgery, and we're going to get to that blockage. There's no doubt about that. You have a crack staff here. Everyone on hand, I'm Dr. Heine. I want you to meet Nurse Slobberknockers. Oh, yeah. And, well, we're going to get right to things. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at JR's problem area. And, okay, let me just see what we have here. Well, first of all, let me make sure this works, if you don't mind.
Doctor.
Good God! Maybe later tonight we can do a real operation. Ooh. Strange. What is it, Dr. Hatch? Don't ever experienced anything quite like this. Okay, this is going to be a little severe, JR, so why don't we just get right to it? How about some lubricant, please, nurse?
This is a combustible situation, to say the least.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, more of that the better. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, so in any event, we're, JR, this should not hurt. All I want you to do is just take a nice deep breath, okay? Ready, JR? On 3. 1.
Oh, my God!
Look at this. The problem. What is that? Hell, it's barbecue sauce, JR. Barbecue sauce? It's all slimy. It's barbecue sauce. You're good to go. Well, wait a minute. Ooh, wait a minute. There's more in there. Hey, let me see here. Ooh.
I don't like the look of this.
It's a football. JR, how could you have a football up there? Damn, there we go. And let me see, that should do it. No. I think there's something else. One more. Hang on, JR, just one more time. Okay, one more.
This one is going to be physical.
What the hell?
What the hell is that?
Owl? Jerry, you want to explain why you have an owl in your ass? I mean, you're some kind of pervert or something?
How disrespectful can one man be?
We're gonna have to open you up, JR. Okay, there's more in there.
We are live and folks, business indeed just picked up.
Watch yourself. All right, JR, hang in there. Sure. I think we solved the problem.
Here we go again.
Isn't that Mae Young's other hand? In any event, JR, there's just smells something fishy. Oh.
This is heinous!
Look what just came out of JR's ass. Oh, my God, it's a goldfish. But I need something, JR, to get in there a little deeper. Can I have the instrument, please?
Yes, Dr. Heine.
Thank you very much. I don't often use this, only with special occasions. Take a big deep breath there, JR. Ready? Watch yourself, dude. Okay. Well, we got him open a little bit more, and I can see all the way. I can see all the way. I see all the way to. Look what I got! You helmet, JR.
That'll keep it.
Yeah, it certainly will, but there's more up there. This calls for desperate measures. So, if you don't mind, I would like to thank you very much, Nurse Slobberknockers. Thank you very much. Yes, we'll take. All right. Okay. You asked for it, JR. By God, you're gonna get it. Oh, you're gonna get it. Let me tell you that. You're really gonna, because I'm gonna get it all. Let's try. My God, you can see all the way to China. What the hell is this? That's very nice, nurse.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
Yeah.
Stone Cold!
Stone Cold!
Stone Cold!
Stone Cold!
Stone Cold! Stone Cold!
I bet you feel better by putting it back.
Man!
I feel better, JR? Yeah?
Stone Cold!
Stone Cold's not going to help you get your job back either. Here. You know what? I need the jaws of life!
I am not going to believe this.
Take these away now. Take them away.
Take a deep seat, folks.
Everybody come quick. Look.
This one should be a classic.
Solve the problem. It's a miracle. All right. Okay. This is going to require an effort from everyone. Come on. Pull. You got to pull hard. Okay. All right. It's JR's head.
I can't believe this.
JR, we've solved the problem. You've had your head up your ass. Why don't you put JR right over there? Now this was a successful operation. And everybody knows after a successful operation, you have to relieve the tension a little bit. So, JR, if you don't mind, you've been a great patient and all that, but, Nurse, if you wouldn't mind just joining me right over here, I think maybe we could make use of this operating table.
Oh, Doctor.
Yeah. It might be a little cold on the bottom, but it won't be for long.
Look at the carnage here.
Based upon the reaction that I got when I walked out here, I would suggest to you that JR's condition is contagious. I would suggest to you that everyone here in Fresno is just like JR. Each and every one of you have your head up your ass. Thank you very much.
Absolutely priceless.
That's what you got.
You thought that was high class entertainment, right? It was you thought that was totally funny.
Politicians buying souls for runs.
And I tell you what, We certainly would.
I just want to forget about that if I possibly can. Let's talk about you and Stone Cold Steve Austin at Taboo Tuesday. Are you going to be laughing there?
I'm going to end Steve Austin's career.
Oh, yeah.
JR's not coming back. Stone Cold's not coming back.
Well, I know you would love to engage in a verbal debate with the Rattlesnake, but I don't think that's going to be the case. You better have your street clothes on because I think you're looking for a street fight with the Rattlesnake.
We're back here live.
That was one of the most disgusting, humiliating acts, worst segments in WWE history. That was not funny at all. Not funny what they did. And they'll see what some matches that happened on Monday Night Raw on this night. Let's see. Shawn Michaels defeated Kane in the Big Show in a triple threat match. Triple H and Viscera ended no contest. Ric Flair interfered. Mickie James with Ashley and Trish Stratus defeated Victoria and Candice Michelle and Tori Wilson. Lance Kay and Trevor Murray defeated Gregory Hanson and Rosie. And Kurt Angle defeated John Cena with Mick Foley as special guest referee. And after the match, after a match in the WWE limited exclusive, Helms calls Rosie a joke who he carried for 2 years. He added, "From now on, the only person he's going to help himself. Just letting him turning heel." And that's it. That'll do it for my review. When the Godfather Soldiers and Slimming, it's late Chad Henshaw. I always say I like to dress up Chuck Checker Sand, I like to Liberty dance like James Brown. I like to get in the hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Furniture A. Murphy doing the impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. That's how real old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. Comedy Central in the 90s. So that'll do it for my show. Now I'm gonna close out some for all of you tonight. I'm gonna close out the show with this song from song called see what's this song here. See I'll close out the song with this song "I Can Love You Like That" by All For One. So hope you have a good night. Here is the close out show. I Can Love You Like That by All For One. Good night, everybody. One of my favorite songs. Good night. When I was little.